Good morning, everyone, and welcome to the morning show right here on Main Street TV, where we have a very special guest in the house. And no, contrary to popular belief, I am not in trouble that I know of.
No, you're definitely not.
Okay. We have a new lieutenant in Jackson here, and so we thought that we kicked Lieutenant Morgan out, didn't we?
We kicked him over to Chillicothe.
Kicked him over to Chillicothe. But we will introduce our new Ohio State Highway Patrol lieutenant here in just a moment, and find out a little bit about you.
Sounds good.
So we're looking forward to it. So let's have a break, and we'll be right back.
This just in.
The Telegram News has a new website.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Same dedicated coverage.
Same trustworthy news with a brand new look.
Covering Jackson and Benton counties and surrounding areas.
Locally owned and operated, TheTelegramNews.com has its finger on the pulse of the community.
Stay up to date on local events, high school sports, and breaking news.
TheTelegramNews.com.
Subscribe today at TheTelegramNews.com.
Check it out.
All right, and welcome back, everyone. We are here with Lieutenant Cassidy from the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Is it like the college? Is it the Ohio State Highway Patrol?
Yes, ma'am.
Sounds really official when you say it that way.
It does. It does.
Well, very, very good. And you are kind of new, not to the Highway Patrol, obviously, but to the Jackson area. So we're kind of, we wanted to bring you on, welcome you to our community.
Thank you.
So tell us a little bit about yourself, because we were talking off the air, and you graduated close to here.
Yes, ma'am.
Kind of went into the military, all kind of stuff.
Yes, ma'am. I graduated from Waverly High School back in 2007.
Where are Jimmy's from?
Where Jimmy's from.
Yeah,
we went to school together.
Yeah, that's funny.
And then right in 2007, I joined the Army, and then was shipped off to Iraq back in 2008, right off with Operation Iraqi Freedom.
Oh, my
So I did
gosh.
13 months there.
Well, thank you for that.
Thank you. And then when I came home, I went to college for a little bit and earned an associate's in business, and then joined the patrol in 2012.
So, well, and thank you for all of your service. You know, that's amazing. How did you get from being in the Army to business to Highway Patrol?
Well, growing up, my dad, he was a cop. He was a sheriff's deputy, and then worked for the state as a park officer. It's something that I've always wanted to do.
Okay.
And then joining the military, he was a prior Marine, Vietnam. So that I just sort of followed in my dad's footsteps on that. But it's something that in business is something that's always interested me. So
Okay.
After getting out of the military, I just went ahead and tried a business degree and ended up doing that. And the patrol is something that my dad has steered me towards. And instead of like doing something else, I just really enjoy helping people. So he steered me towards the patrol, and that's what got me in here.
You know, and contrary to, because I could see a lot of parallels between being in the military and obviously being in law enforcement, but contrary to what, you know, the majority, I think, not majority, but some people think, the patrol is here to help you.
Oh, definitely.
You're not out to get people.
Nope.
You are very helpful.
Yeah, so all the men and women that I work with, we enjoy being part of the community. We enjoy, like helping people. We're not, it is tough. We have a job.
You're
to
not
do.
out like,
no.
I'm looking at you.
No, we give plenty of warnings, but it's part of it. We do have to do the other side of the job also. And we try to do the best job we possibly can. And I will say, everyone that I work with, they're really good people.
Very, very good. And I mean, everybody that I've met, because when Lieutenant Morgan kind of came in, we met, and there's so many folks out at the Jackson Post that we've gotten to kind of know along the way, and everybody has been so kind and so nice to come in here and talk about different things that are going on throughout the year. So you're on the hook for that, by the way.
That sounds good. That's fine. If you'll have me, I'll be here.
Yes, absolutely. But what are some of the parallels between being in the military and being in law enforcement? I would have to think it would be
There's a lot of
similar.
similarities, especially with our division. We're a paramilitary, so we have rank system, we have structure that, like in the military, there's privates, then sergeants, and then it moves up from there. With us, we have trooper, sergeant, lieutenant, and it's just, we're very structured. And just like our academy, it's based on Marine Corps boot camp.
Really?
Yes, it's
That's
actually
scary.
Yeah, it's a live-in academy, but you build the foundation of being able to give respect, to get respect, and that's what we're about. And I know someone sees this uniform and it's a little intimidating. You see that the big hat, it's intimidating, but
The guns and all, and the tasers and all the stuff.
Yes,
all the
here
stuff
recently,
and things.
I think we've done a pretty good job of sort of breaking down some of those barriers and becoming one with the community, because we do a lot of community outreach now.
You do, and I think that is so very, very important, because I don't know. I think it's human nature to think of first responders and law enforcement and all of what you all do as superheroes, which you are in a way. But you're also human beings
we're
that
humans.
have, feelings and hearts and brains and all that stuff. So, you can talk to these people and they are humans and they have wives and kids and,
Oh, yes,
and the same
definitely.
things that the rest of us do. So
Yep.
that's, it's nice to be able to meet you all in a setting like this where
Yes.
people can get to know you. So tell us a little bit about your home life, your family.
Well, I have a 3-year-old son, and then my wife is due next month we have another son in March. So
Congrats!
thank you. I've been married for 4 years, and I'm from Waverly, and I still live in Waverly.
Okay.
But Waverly doesn't have a post, so I'm in the middle of
Oh.
Chillicothe, Jackson, and Portsmouth.
Okay.
So we don't have a post like Jackson would have. Jackson, we cover Benton County. So that's what I'm over this way, because it's close to me.
Well, it was interesting. Pete was then talking about an unfortunate accident yesterday, and he said something about it was in Benton County. He said something about the Jackson Post, and I was like,
Jackson covers Benton.
okay, I
'Cause
did not know that.
They don't have a standalone post.
I just assumed that every county had a post, but I guess I don't
No.
know why I assumed that.
That's what we have counties in, believe about 50, or post in about 58 counties, I think, around that.
Okay.
And then some counties like Sauter now covers Pike, Jackson covers Benton.
Okay.
Athens will cover Hocking. So we will cover multiple counties. And then us being state, just because we're posted out of that area doesn't mean one of my troopers couldn't go to Pike County or Ross County, because we
To
have
assist or-
yes, we have jurisdiction there also, was that we'd go help each other out.
Well, that's a lot of geography to cover, though.
It definitely is.
I thought our sheriff's office, one county has a lot to cover. I mean, you're talking about multiple counties.
It's a pretty big area, and that's where recruitment has been down for us. But we are seeing a slight uptick. But we are trying to, with all the law enforcement agencies these days, it's been tough for recruitment.
Yes, it has been.
But we are. I mean, if someone's interested in the state patrol, they can Google Ohio State Highway Patrol, and we have a recruitment section. We actually have our district recruiter is at Jackson, Tawana Hutton.
Tawana!
Yep. You have to get her on here.
She's our girl.
Yep.
Yeah, she's been here a time or
Okay.
two. I have to really twist her arm to get her here,
Yeah.
but she always does a fantastic
She's not big
job.
on interviews, but she does a great job.
She's not. She does a
Yeah.
wonderful job, and she and I have a lot of fun together.
That's good.
So they let me. This was really. But I'll tell you this story because you probably weren't there. So a couple years ago, we went out. They had a big open house at the Jackson Post,
Mm-hmm.
and they had like helicopter and SWAT stuff and dogs and any like toy that you guys could
Oh,
have.
yeah. Oh.
Well, they had this prototype of a new patrol car
Really?
out there. Yeah. And so Tawana and I are walking around and we're interviewing, and we get to the car, and she's like, I don't know, this is a prototype. And I'm like, well, can we sit in it and talk about it? She's like, well, yeah. So we get in it, and I'm like, okay, well, how do we, and she's like, I don't know. So she and I just start flipping switches and turning
get
stuff
it.
on right on the interview. And it was literally the funniest
Oh,
thing
that's
because
awesome.
we were just, sirens were going and lights were flashing, and we didn't know what we were doing, but it was a hoot.
Only one way to learn, right?
Exactly.
By trying to figure it out.
When all else fails, just start flipping switches. So, well, let's talk about, lieutenant is a pretty high up rank.
Yes,
So,
ma'am.
you've gotten there pretty quick, I think.
Yes, I'm very fortunate.
Well, you're not fortunate. You're doing something right, I would say.
I'd like to think so. I hope so.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
But can you talk a little bit about, like, from the academy, kind of talk about the academy, and I know that it's structured kind of like the military, you said, but then how do you go from there, and how do you progress up the ranks of the highway patrol, and what does each rank mean?
Okay. Well, in the academy, you're going to be known as a cadet. So you'll be, everywhere you go in the academy, you usually run, and then you'll be taught.
That sounds awful.
Yeah.
But good for you.
They'll teach you how to march. They'll teach you how yes, ma'am, no, sir. You'll be given respect and getting respect at that time. And that's where they mold the future troopers. So every day, it's not your 9 to 5. You'll be staying there Monday through Friday. And then on weekends, you get to come home.
Okay.
So you'll be there during that time. They feed you, they clothe you, they do everything.
So that's like a full-time job.
It's a full-time job. I'm not sure of the pay right now, but that's able to be looked up because they pay you while you're there for a 40-hour work week. They pay you while you're in the academy.
Nice.
And then once you graduate,
how long would that take?
It's usually 5.5, 6 months.
Okay.
The academy is.
So half a year
half
of
a
your
year.
life.
But
for a career.
It's a great career. And then out of that, they'll stick you. Right now, they're trying to get you within 50 air miles of your home residence, because with troopers, we can take a cruiser home within 50 air miles of our residence.
That makes sense.
That's a huge perk.
Yes.
So you will find a post that has openings, and they'll stick you in the post. And then once you're at post, you're known as a trooper.
That's where you start.
That's your rank. That's where you start.
Okay.
You'll be put with a field training officer, which now we've been doing 2 to 3 field training officers to get a different perspective from each troop that trains that new trooper.
So do you just ride along with that person, or
first you'll ride, and then they'll do everything with you. You're making the new troopers making the stops, and they're riding with you, making sure. And then we have an assessment to make sure that they are progressing along the way that they're supposed to be.
Okay.
Then once they're out of coach pupil, is what we call it, then they're just a full-fledged trooper where they ride by themselves.
Okay.
So the troopers are the ones that are out there doing all the work, doing the crashes, doing, the enforcement, getting the drugs off the streets, doing that stuff.
There's not a problem with that, is there?
Or there's definitely a problem with all that these days, unfortunately. But I think the troopers and, the deputies, the police officers, they do a great job with taking that stuff off the roads.
Do. We were just had Jackson Police Chief Brett Hinch in the other day, and we were talking about that. And then I saw they had a ginormous drug bust the other day, but he said it seems to be getting a little better.
We're trying to get a hold of it.
Yeah.
We're slowly starting to get more. And the good thing about Jackson, we have great relationships with Sheriff Frazier and Chief Hinch. We have a great relationship with those agencies, along with ODOT or the county engineer.
Everybody works together.
We work together. We build relationships with each other. We help each other out.
That's good.
But then, as a trooper, you'll do that for so many years, and you can get into specialties as K-9. You can try to be a pilot. You can go to our SWAT team. You can do any of that, or you can stay within and try to work your way up to a sergeant. So you have to go with a sergeant. You have to go through a lot of different tests, and then you have to go through an assessment up in Columbus, and then after that you have to apply to try to go to a sergeant position. And then if you're accepted into a sergeant position, we're an opening. Now you're administrative, where sergeants are the backbone, because they're first-line supervisor of the troopers. They're the first one the troopers deal with.
Okay.
And then the sergeants come to us. Like, they're in between us.
They're middle
commander.
the middle management, if
job.
you will. That's not fair.
It's a
say
tough
that.
job, because they're out there. They will actually help. They'll handle stuff also, but then they have to do all their administrative stuff and then keep stuff in compliance. So they have a very tough job.
And report to you.
And report to me. That's probably the toughest job. But then once a post commander, after so many years as a sergeant, you can try to go to an assessment, do the same stuff that you had to do to become a sergeant. You have to go through an assessment, through the test and all that. That once you're blessed with being on the list, you have to interview for a post commander spot. And that's when district in Columbus will select you if you become a post commander.
Okay.
Because post commanders, in Ohio, there's only if there's 58 posts, there's only 58 post commanders. So it's very highly competitive. And then you're the head of the post. And
it's like being a kicker in the NFL.
yeah. And once you just move up from there to a staff lieutenant and captain, captain's in charge of the entire district. And they're very, very rare, because there's not that many. There's only 9 districts. So it becomes more competitive as it goes up.
Well, one of these days we're going to get Captain Morgan.
Get him in here once he moves on up.
We're like, dude, you got to get to Captain Morgan because we're going to have a big party with spiced
That'd
rum.
be good. He's been a lieutenant for a while, so he definitely has a chance to get up there. Yep.
So, I would have to think that there are patrolmen or troopers that are just like, I'm good with being a trooper. Like, I'm cool with that.
There's nothing wrong with it because it's a very tough job. And
it would be, but also you're out beating the pavement.
Yeah, and it all depends. What I always tell guys, it depends what's right for them and their family. Because once you go from a trooper to a sergeant, you lose your seniority. And now, if you're a day shift guy, you might end up going to afternoons or midnights. So there is stuff that you have to think about. And I give them all the respect in the world. If they want to stay troopers, there is absolutely nothing wrong with that because that's a tough job.
Well, and there's nothing, obviously the more experience you have, the better. So having somebody that's been out for a long time, they know the ins and outs. And
they're a very informal leader to the other new troopers.
Sure.
So they're an asset, definitely.
You got it. So you have moved up to lieutenant, so congratulations, and you will be kind of heading up our post here in Jackson. So if you see him out and about, congratulate him. That's very good. So let's talk for a minute about some of let's talk about how do you get into the academy?
Okay.
What's the easiest route for somebody to take, or if somebody's just thinking about it, could they come out and talk to you?
Yes,
or
they're definitely.
How do you
welcome
feel
to
about
come
that?
Out. We have no problem. They're welcome to come in, and then because we do have the district recruitment, get with her. She's actually able to set you up with like appointments or some programs. We has to go
see Tawana. She's cute.
Yeah, go ahead and see. She does a great job with that, but. They can also do ride-alongs also, depending if they're able to get into the academy. While they're waiting to do that, we can also do a ride-along where they could, say they get in and then they start riding with the trooper.
Gotcha.
And, so they can see maybe what they do.
That would be invaluable.
Yes, it's definitely helpful. But you can Google Ohio State Highway Patrol. There's all that recruitment. You can put your name in there, or you can call the post. You can come out and see Tawana.
Okay.
Yeah, we can put your name on that, and then the process will start. Okay. What you'll have to do, a polygraph, a background check, all that stuff to get in.
And what are the age requirements?
Right now, you have to turn 21 in the academy. So you can start at 20, but you have to be 21 by the time you graduate.
Gotcha.
In a few instances, like if it's you graduate and a month after you graduate, you'll turn 21.
They'll be a little flexible.
They just won't commission you till that because you can't carry your pistol and all that. So
Sure.
They will on certain circumstances. And due to recruitment being so low, they actually up the age to 40.
Okay.
To where you can be 39 and turn 40 in the academy.
So maybe you're thinking, you know what? I am so tired of doing what I'm doing, and I want to help people.
Mm-hmm. It's
That's
definitely
awesome.
it's a great career because everyone just sees they just write tickets. We do way more than just write tickets.
Let's talk about that. What are the things that you do on the daily that people might not know?
Well, just pretty much anything. I mean, we have troopers that go out there and assist motorists on the roadway. So their tires flat. We'll help with traffic control. We'll help change their tire.
Run out of gas.
We help them do that.
Yep.
And just even like these community outreach where we just like to go talk to people. We'll go there and talk to them about safety. And then we help the local agencies out as much as we can from pretty much any array that they're going from a domestic to a fight or just, if it's an overdose, we help with all that stuff.
Sure.
So because we work so well with the local agencies, there ain't enough of us out there individually. So
everybody got to work as a team.
We got to work as a team. So if it's the
That's
PD
true.
coming out and helping us or the sheriff's office coming out and helping us or us coming to help either one of them, we do a lot of that also.
Yeah, and we thank you for that. I mean, I've been numerous times something has happened, a flat tire or something, and I feel like there's always somebody right there. I think the last one was my husband's truck broke down. Well, he called me. I happened to be pretty close, so I went, but highway patrolman right there. Do you need help? No, we got someone, tow truck already coming. It's fine. But
We always want to check on you.
I mean, that's great, and that's wonderful.
And even in these cold, that's why I always tell people to leave, over a half a tank in their car. But if you get stranded out there, our troopers will also do line checks to check these hidden areas of counties that don't get touched. So if you're broke down, we try to find you so no one wants to freeze.
Sure.
So we'll take them to a place that they need to be taken to get warm or get them some help.
That makes total sense. So what's some advice for safety for drivers out there that some of the challenges maybe that you all see that people do? I assume cell phones are one of them. But
Distracted driving is huge these days.
Is it? I figured.
Yes. It's just advice in general for these snow days. Slow down. I mean, you hear that. Slow down. Bridges, overpasses, they ice a lot quicker. I wouldn't use cruise control because you'll spin out
Smart.
on bridges. Always keep your blankets in your car or a
Okay.
candle, stuff like that. Keep your vehicle at half a tank. And then just keep the phone out of your hands. Don't be
I know.
distracted.
And listen, everybody's guilty of it. It's bad.
It's easy you hear that ding and pick it up, but these days we're seeing so many crashes and fatalities, unfortunately, that it's became a problem because of the society we live in today. The ones that when we grew up, we didn't have cell phones, so it's not as big. But the younger generations,
We just drove too fast.
We just drove too
That was
fast.
all we
But the
did.
younger generations, that's what you're seeing.
Yeah.
People, we live distracted lives. So that's what, even though we have to enforce that, we're trying to change that behavior because we don't want people losing their life over that.
Well, and that's why legislation has been passed and all of that, and I think for very good reason. And listen, I don't have to, and you don't have to pull up to a crash and see something that could have been easily prevented by somebody not looking at their cell phone. You all are the ones that have to deal with that and see the aftermath, unfortunate, of that. And we don't want that for you.
No, we don't want that for anyone. But to hit on that distracted driving, a lot of these courts, how it is new, they are, if you're cited with distracted driving, you can actually get that, so much of that fine knocked off by doing an educational video. So sometimes
Okay.
when you're getting
Good to know.
when you're getting that citation for distracted driving, there are avenues to go to watch a video or something like that in education to get that fine knocked off. So it's
first
more about
time.
educating.
Don't
than
do it again.
learn. Yeah, to learn from it because
Yes.
it's not all about just ticketing. It's change behavior and learn from
It's
it.
education.
Yes.
Absolutely. Well, very good. So is there any kind of thing you wanted to let our viewers know before I know you're super busy and we don't want to keep you, forever, but is there anything you wanted to let our viewers know while you're here? We just wanted to bring you in and introduce you to the community.
I'm just really grateful to be here. I mean, the Jackson community has been very welcoming, from the citizens to the sheriff's office to the police department. Everyone's been overwhelmingly welcoming to me, and I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate that. And if you see me out and about, feel free to come up, talk to me. I'm easygoing. So.
Obviously. Very, very kind. So, all right. Well, Lieutenant Cassidy, our new lieutenant at the Jackson Post of the Ohio State Highway Patrol. If you see him out and about, tell him thank you and also welcome him to our community as you. That's something that we're really good at here, is being kind.
Definitely.
So, all right. Well, very good. We'll get out and get out on the streets and do good work.
Oh, thank
Not
you.
that I have to tell you to do that. So, all right. Well, we do have a message, and then we'll be back with our good friend Jade, who has done an interview prior to the show today. So we'll be back with that.
At Vinton County National Bank, we believe in supporting the areas where we live and work. Now, we'd like to honor those who also serve our communities. Our new Community Champions account is especially for first responders, veterans, active military, and anyone employed in the fields of healthcare or education. This account offers rewards, discounts, and other benefits to those who give so much to others. Vinton County National Bank, rewarding those who serve.
Saturday, August 16th is Southern Rock Woodstock in the Gallipolis Fairgrounds. This event will feature 3 decades of original artists and legends, such as Leonard Skinner, 38 Special, and Molly Hatchet. In light of this event, Total Media will be giving away 4 VIP tickets. For a chance to win these exclusive passes, comment your favorite Southern Rock song, and our staff will vote on which one is the best. Good luck, and may the best man rock out.
Hello everyone, happy Tuesday. I'm here with our great friends from the FFA. Are you able to introduce yourselves?
Yep. I'm Blake Houseworth. I'm the Vice President of the Huntington PRCTC FFA chapter. I'm Braden Housworth, and I'm the president.
How does being a part of the FFA how does it make you? Because I know you put a lot into this. How do you contribute yourself into this? Like, how do you prep for this? How long have you prepped for this?
FFA makes you get involved in activities just outside of school, and makes you meet new people, going to events, contests, and national and state convention.
And how long have you guys been in it? Oh, sorry.
I was going to say, we've gone a lot of places we wouldn't have otherwise.
Mm-hmm. How long have you guys been in this?
All 4 years of high school.
Same here.
Wow. What made you guys want to go into the FFA?
We just signed up and we saw that all the stuff that all the other kids got to do the years before. So we wanted to do the same thing.
Yeah, that's completely valid. And what are some of the biggest misconceptions about FFA that you guys have heard?
You have to be a farmer to be in it.
Exactly.
Really? Mm-hmm. So you do not need to have any farming background at all to be in it. If you're just interested, no. you can just sign up for it.
We have kids right now that have no farming background or anything, and they still are in it and still succeed very well.
That's amazing. Did you guys have a farming background at all before?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay. So beforehand, you guys just signed up because you saw stuff about it and you were interested. Did you have any prior interest on continuing that for the rest of your high school and maybe past that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And can you tell us a recent project or event that you've been involved in?
Well, we got our breakfast coming up this Thursday from 5:30 to 8:30, so we'll be doing that.
Still getting prepared for it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Hey, Dylan, are you able to turn them up a little bit? I can't hear them because of the air. Okay. I apologize, guys. Okay. What kind of community service projects does FFA take part in?
We've done a food drive before.
We did the career ag day for the 8th grade students where different people in the ag career come out and talk about their career in the ag and get kids interested in maybe going into that career.
And I know that you guys have to interact and really engage in the community this way. How have you guys grown from when you started since?
There's a lot more events than when we started out. Mm-hmm. A lot more public events for people to show up and attend to from the community.
Yeah.
Okay. And how have you guys yourselves personally have grown from this?
You get more comfortable talking to people. Like at freshman year, you weren't as more comfortable talking, but now you can go up and talk to different people about it at the different events.
And give me a second. And do you guys have any personal success stories from it, your favorite that you guys have really found success in?
Probably my favorite thing that we've done was been the career ag day.
Mm-hmm. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
So the kids are going to come to the fairgrounds at Ross County, and then they come. We have 4 schools that are going to come this year. They'll come and they'll get 10 to 15 minutes to talk to the different people in each career that they ag industry.
Mm-hmm. And I heard that there's a breakfast coming up, you said?
Yes.
Okay, how do you guys prepare for that?
Well, we went shopping yesterday to get all the food and the stuff for that. Then today we're going to get the grills and stuff, and then Wednesday we'll get all the stuff set up that we can do the night before.
Okay, what will you guys be doing at the breakfast? Will it just be breakfast and talk, or is there going to be more in any activities to it?
We will be cooking it, and then you can come in and sit down and talk to people and that kind of stuff.
Okay, and so it's in the FFA, it's from freshman to senior?
Yes.
Correct? Okay, so you said that you started as a freshman. Did you both start as freshmen? I apologize.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay. So now, and are you guys currently seniors?
Yes.
Okay. How have you seen other people in the FFA grow since they've started? Like, I know, how many people are with you guys in the FFA?
About 120.
Wow. Wow. And are there any, like, underclassmen that you've kind of taken under your wing and helped as they're growing through the FFA in their first year?
You see through really from freshman to sophomore year, you see them go and get more involved into the activities that we're doing. Freshman year, they're kind of wary and not like, I don't know if I want to do it. But now, since they're like sophomores, they're getting it more involved into the FFA.
That's really good. And FFA, I've heard it really helps people come out of their shell so that because they get to talk to more people, they get to do more activities. How do you think it has helped people throughout the years of getting people to come out of their shell? Like, what has really clicked with you that's helped people?
I think just like you said, they've came out of their shell. They're more willing to talk to people than they would be for the FFA.
And how does the FFA and agricultural, I can never say that word, agricultural education connect to real world farming and agricultural businesses?
It all connects because agriculture is like the start of it. Even some people don't consider some stuff agricultural. Everything will relate back to ag.
Have you participated in any career development events? And if so, what was that experience like?
Yeah, we have. We've done like livestock judging, public speaking, and we'll do revivathon and wildlife.
Do you guys have a personal favorite from that?
Livestock.
I enjoy Envirothon.
Okay. And do you, when you first ever did something in the FFA where everybody was seeing, were you guys like nervous at all for it?
Yeah. My freshman year, I went on a trip, and it was all seniors, and then I was the only freshman.
That would have been, ooh, that sounds scary. But how did you calm yourself down and mentally prepare yourself for that first time?
I don't remember.
You don't remember, and that is it. That's completely okay. Well, how do you guys mentally prepare yourselves for when you do it now? Like, what is your thought process as you do it?
Just show up and get it done.
You know what? And that is a perfect way to do it. Do you have an achievement that you have done, like your favorite personal achievement that you have accomplished as you have been continuing through the FFA?
Probably the first ones to get our state degrees.
And yes. Okay. And how has the FFA influenced your future goals and career plans?
FFA, I'm going towards an FFA degree and going to get that towards that. So that's shifted to my degree after high school.
Is that for both of you?
I did not shift my degree path. I still have the same old plan.
Okay, and that is completely okay. And do you have any advice for kids who want to join but are kind of weary about it?
Just do it and you'll enjoy it. Even if you're nervous, you really will enjoy it.
And do you guys have a funny story from the FFA that you just like a personal funny story? If you have too many, you can just pick one out of the bunch. But do you guys have a funny story from the FFA that you'd like to share?
Probably when the one teacher that we went with for livestock got the clipboard, so we all had to use cardboard to write on for the contest.
Oh no. And was that hard at all, or was it all okay?
It wasn't bad.
It wasn't bad. Okay.
No.
And how do you guys prepare for the livestock? Like, how much preparation does it go into livestock?
We'll try to have practices every week or so,
Mm-hmm.
and we'll go over like what they will look for in the judging and that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And
you
hopefully,
oh, sorry. You go. I apologize.
hopefully people study at home. You can really tell when someone does and someone doesn't.
Mm-hmm. And how can you tell if someone does and someone doesn't?
By the score they get, you get it. The scores go out of 700.
Okay. And what is like the range? Like, what is good? What is a good score and what is a bad score?
About 550 or above is pretty good.
Okay. Okay. Do you guys try to strive for like really putting in a lot of preparation, like going to practice for this every week and really putting in the preparation for it?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And we go to other CDE events that lead up to state and stuff like that. We'll go to like invitationals.
Mm-hmm. And do you guys ever have do you guys have like personal goals that you want to still meet the senior year before you graduate for FFA?
Yeah.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit about those goals, unless they're personal?
We would like to go on and maybe one of us qualify for state and one of our CDE contests.
Yes, that would be so fun. How can you get up to state? Like, how many levels do you have to pass?
You gotta, for a state, you gotta attend state, and then the top 25 get to go on to the next round, which is qualifies you.
And let me see. What advice would you give to your old self, to your younger self, for when you started?
Get involved as much as you can.
Mm-hmm. Does that apply for both of you?
Yeah. I didn't get involved too much my freshman year.
Mm-hmm. And that is completely okay. So you got more involved your sophomore year. You really like came out of your shell then.
Sophomore year, I went to a lot of events.
Okay. How many events would you guys say that you attend per year?
I would say probably 15 to 20.
Yeah.
Wow. Do you guys have a personal favorite event that you guys have attended?
National convention, probably.
Mm-hmm. And can you tell me a little bit about that event?
So we go to National Convention in Indianapolis. This year we went for 2 days, and we go over there, and then you hang out, and you get to go to sessions, and they talk about stuff in the FFA and give degrees and awards out.
And and is that the same for you, or do you have your own personal favorite event?
I like the more local Envirothon. It's a team judging event. You get to work as a group and figure stuff out.
Mm-hmm. And what is your personal, like, niche, or not niche, but, like, yeah, your personal, like, thing that you do super well? Because I know you really said that you guys like livestock, but do you guys have any other, like, personal, like, things that you are really good at within the FFA?
I did public speaking this year, and I did pretty good at that.
Mm-hmm. Were you nervous at all for the public speaking?
No, not really.
Really? That's good. It's good when you're not nervous, because sometimes when you're nervous, I feel like it can really affect how the speech is.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I feel like over the years, have you guys been able to really understand what you want to continue? Would you want your kids, like, eventually one day to go into the FFA?
Yeah.
Yeah?
It's a lot of planning forward, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yes, it is. But, you know, I've asked people about the FFA before and if they would love to have that personal growth with their family also. And does anybody else in your family actually do the FFA?
Yeah. I think
Yeah.
they have 2 other family members in it.
Yeah.
How many of your family members are in the FFA?
2 or 3.
Oh wow. And how can we and other people find you guys, and how can people get into the FFA?
We're mostly on our Facebook page at the Huntington FFA.
Okay. And is there any more information about this breakfast coming up that you would like to let people know, maybe so they can come?
It's 5:30 to 8:30, and you'll come to the lunchroom at the high school.
Okay.
You can also pre-order online.
Yeah.
Well,
on
that
our
sounds
Facebook
good.
page.
Is there anything else you guys would like everybody to know about the FFA before we head out?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, thank you guys for coming on today. It was a pleasure having you guys. And I hope everybody else has a great morning. And thank you.
Did you know Jackson is home to a locally owned and operated full-service print shop? Zip Printing covers all your print, signage, and design needs. From business cards, booklets, and posters to yard signs, banners, screen-printed t-shirts, oversized signage, and more. We can help you or your business advertise and look good doing it. Zip Printing also offers logo design. Allow us to assist you in building or elevating your brand today. Zip Printing is located in the Stockmeister Plaza at 708 East Main Street in Jackson, Ohio. So stop in or give us a call at 740-286-3023.
This is your 3-day weather forecast brought to you by Total Media. Starting off on Tuesday with partly cloudy skies, highs around 25 and lows around 14. Moving into your Wednesday with a 50% chance of precipitation with highs around 26 and lows around 14. Finishing up on your Thursday with a 40% continued chance of precipitation with highs around 23 and lows around 12.
All right, and we are back with our good friend Pete Wilson. Want to thank Lieutenant Cassidy for spending his morning with us a little bit. That was really fun getting to meet him and talking about all the things going on at the Jackson Post. So he's new to the area, so welcome. But yeah, Pete's here. We're going to do some news.
Right, Lieutenant Cassidy, I got a chance to meet him shortly after he was named the commander of the Jackson Post. Very genial fella.
He is. He's sweet.
Yeah, very, very nice. And, you know, young-looking guy, but he has done some things in his young career, and that's why he is where he is
That's
right
right.
now.
He's done a lot of things.
Definitely in good hands out at the Jackson Post. Okay, Jennifer, I know that it's been a couple days now since it rained, but the flooding does persist.
Yes.
A lot of some of the roads, at least, are still closed. And once again, we have received lessons about the dangers of driving into flooded roads. You know, they may be posted, they may not be posted, but, you know, if you're driving on flooded roads or trying to drive through flooded roads, you do it at your own risk. We have 2 instances where we had what you could call water rescues. Now, neither of them turned out to be life-threatening, but, you know, they could have been, you know, if the circumstances were a little bit different. But we had one down in Bloomfield Township. Again, those folks on February the 6th did a water rescue, and they had to pull a lady out by boat. That was on CH&D Road, a section of CH&D Road that always floods all the time.
We know how that floods.
Well, on Saturday, one of the firefighters I know was the same, Cody Hale. He's the new chief down in Bloomfield Township, replacing Joe Alcox. He and another firefighter had to pull a man out this time. Not sure what road that occurred, but that was on Saturday. Yesterday, late afternoon, about 4 p.m., out on Savageville Road, which is just off US 35 there, you know, you 6 or 7 miles out, you take a left and you go to Limerick there, to the Bean Dinner or wherever, that direction. It's a main rural road. Just off the road there, Salt Lick Creek crosses the road right there, and that is where a gentleman tried to drive through flooded waters and became stalled. They had to call, there's what it looked like. Now, you know, once again, if you look at that water there, would you try to drive through that?
Absolutely not in any way, shape, or form, but I mean...
Right, and if
I understand why someone might.
I don't know whether the water is, you can see which direction he's heading. There's flooded waters on the other side, too, that you don't see there. But, you know, you can't, it looks like to me you can't see the roadway. And now you see where the water is. You know, it's just up to his tires. But but you can stall out if it gets into your compartment, and obviously you can't drive as fast through it. There's a good chance you're going to stall.
Yeah.
And another shot that we don't have to show you, Jeremiah Shaver was actually out there on the scene. He took this picture yesterday. Oh, there it is. Okay, he sent that one too. You can see the water moving there a little bit.
It is terrifying.
That is where it becomes a little bit more dangerous.
Yes.
It is powerful.
I went through that, I think I told you yesterday, by Southview.
Mm-hmm.
Jamie and I drove through it right before they closed the road in his ginormous pickup truck. And I was looking, and it was just a couple of inches deep, but that water, it was like you were at the ocean. It was like waves coming through. And it's terrifying.
Right. Well, anyway, as you can see, it was definitely ill-advised to drive through there. Now, the way it worked out, they didn't have to use a boat. One of the firefighters from the other side of the road there, we can't see it, from Liberty Township, they came out, walked over to where this gentleman was. He was older, and walked out with him. They didn't need a boat there. But
that's
obviously,
good
when
news.
you're stalled, you do want to stay in your car, truck, or whatever. You don't want to walk out because you have no idea, where you might step, where, the water would be even deeper than where your vehicle is. So in both cases, it was not life-threatening, but you had the Wellston Water Rescue Unit called, at least one person from there. Soda Township has a water rescue unit too. I didn't know that, but they were called. Liberty Township came the other direction from their fire department out Limerick Road. And of course, it's in Jackson Township, and they are covered by fire contract with the Colton Fire Department. So the Colton was actually the primary call. So all those folks came, late in the afternoon to help somebody out when, you shouldn't have done it. You shouldn't have done it through your own safety. And then also think of the inconvenience of the firefighters there. And of course, the same thing happened in Bloomfield Township. So, once again, do not attempt to drive through high water on roadways. Stay safe, turn around.
Don't drown.
Right. And, what you also don't think of, once you're out and you see there's no problem, you don't know what damage there might be to your car.
That's what I was
in the
thinking,
engine,
too.
If it happens to get into your passenger compartment, that would be horrible.
Absolutely.
So, last night, the last time we looked at the road situation, there were still many roads, especially in the southern part of the county, that were closed and considered impassable. Now, most of those, I would think, probably are marked in some way, but sections of Mariah Road, Cherry Fork Road, Keystone Furnace Road, Savageville Road, where you saw the pictures, Jimes Emery Road, Buckeye Furnace Road, Lloyd's Bridge Road, which is just outside of town off 35. All those roads or sections of those roads are considered impassable as of last night. They probably still are as we speak this morning. Water will be going down, but once again, the flooding is definitely there. Jimmy, I think we have a couple other flood pictures that you can throw up there if you've got them.
Oh my!
Okay, this is in Jackson.
Whoa!
This is over on Athens Street.
Wow.
Where the railroad tracks pass, and you can see that it's over the railroad tracks, and they're on private property too. And that is over in that same area. I believe that street sign says Freeman Street. You can see that it's lapping up next to the front porch of a home there, and a person who has their vehicle parked outside. I don't know whether that was the high point of the water or not, but I believe that was at the height of the flooding on either Sunday or Monday. I think Sunday is when Jeremiah might have taken that picture. So this is the Eddie Jones Park.
The marina.
I took that picture on Sunday, and the water was still there yesterday. So it'll go down, but there it's low lying anyway. But it sits right next to Salt Lick Creek, which it comes up over its banks there. Unfortunately, all the park covered, tennis courts back there, bike path. It's a mess.
It is a mess.
It'll be a mess. I know that the city has gotten grant funding to try to address the flooding, and it'll take some kind of plan to do that. All right, some good news that we can tell you. We are in the basketball tournament area right now. Our girls' teams played last week. They're all out of the tournament because they lost.
Okay.
Our boys are starting this week. Last night, the Wellston Golden Rockets went to West Union in a first-round game, a really good game, but West Union with the advantage of the home court, defeated Wellston 54-48. So the Rockets are now out of the tournament. However, they do have a senior night regular season game on Wednesday evening against Nelsonville York. And, all the senior players and cheerleaders will be honored, and they will be finishing the regular season, Coach Briggs and the Rockets. Last night in Vinton County, I think we've dropped this name before, got a great sports name, Cobra Sharp. Cobra is senior basketball player for the Vinton County Vikings, and last night he reached a milestone that is significant. He scored a three-point basket, and he eclipsed the 1,000-point mark with that basket. And they stopped the game. They did win the game, by the way, against Ross County Christian Center. We should have a picture of that, Jimmy. It's sent this morning. They beat Ross County Christian Center by a score of 80-53.
Oh, wow.
And Cobra had a three-point shot. He is known as one of the top shooters in the area, one of the top one of the top scorers in the area. He hit a three-point shot from the top of the key. They stopped the game. They gave him the basketball. They got hugs from the coach. He was able to go up into the stands and hug his family members as well.
I love that they do stuff like that.
Right. But anyway, that is considered kind of like the milestone that any high school basketball player wants to reach, the 1,000-point club. And he did that last night. And what I assume is the final, I sent that picture this morning, Jimmy. Okay, it was the last regular season game of the season for them. Now they're in the tournament too. They will play Thursday at Hillsboro. The Oak Hill Oaks will play Friday at Wheelersburg, and the Jackson Ironmen got a bye, which means they don't have to play this week. They will play a week from tonight against the winner of the Washington Courthouse Waverly game, which is later in the week. So we'll see what happens
now,
there.
I know a lot of times our local schools host tournament games. Are we into that yet, where we're hosting games from other schools?
There's one set of games that's going to be at Jackson coming up, and there's that picture. Thank you, Jimmy, for putting that up. That is Coach N.J. Kite, of course, who is from Jackson, a Jackson boy, but he is a very successful coach at the Vinton County High School now, and that is him hugging Cobra. You see Cobra has the basketball in hand, which I believe is now going to go somewhere on a mantle in his home or in a display case. So congratulations once again to Cobra Sharp. But back to host tournament games. Jackson is hosting, I think, one night of tournaments, not as many as they have in the past. However, nearby Wellston will be hosting some more tournament games than Jackson.
Okay.
So just up the road, there'll be some games there. I'll check the schedule, maybe report to you when those games are, but they'll be coming up either in the upcoming district. Both boys and girls, of course, are in action now. All right, but speaking of the flood, one last time, we'll have a kind of a wrap-up of winter/flooding/water rescue coverage and pictures coming in our Wednesday edition of the Telegram, and we'll be posting that, of course, on our website, thetelegram.news.com. And, of course, we're sharing news as we get it from for the radio as well. Now, we reported on 2 water rescues. That doesn't mean that there weren't others, but those are ones that we became aware of. All right, to something good again. We'll go back to Friday night at Wellston High School, and then Friday night at Oak Hill High School, and then Saturday at Oak Hill High School. It was Valentine's Day weekend, and of course, they do the Sweetheart Queen and the Royalty. And at Oak Hill on Friday, the Oaks played Pike Eastern, and at that night, they crowned the Sweetheart Queen. She is Reagan Atkins. There she is. She's being crowned by Macy Potter, last year's queen. That is her tradition at Oak Hill High School. Cool. You can see her with the roses and and her banner, Sweetheart Queen. And there were other other girls that were honored as well. They were considered the attendants. All of this, of course, is chosen by the students, so that is an honor of itself. Here is a group picture. Not going to name all the names.
Look how pretty they all are.
Yeah, these are all the senior girls and underclassmen girls who were picked as sweetheart royalty with their escorts. So
That's
they're
cool.
all dressed up. And on that picture was actually taken on Saturday. They had the sweetheart dance on Saturday night, a time for the middle school that was separate at the beginning of the evening, and then later in the evening, grades 9 through 12 had the high school Sweetheart Queen dance. So Jackson now had a Sweetheart Queen dance event at Parks Edge Event Center on Sunday, but they did not, I think that a year or so ago, they stopped doing the royalty part of it, but they had the dance. All right. What else can we tell you real quick? I want to, we'll do that tomorrow. We'll go back and tell you about the Apple Festival Queens Contest. They have announced the date for that. It's a little later this year because remember, they always link it to Easter weekend, right. They always have the Little Miss contest on Friday. I've not had that confirmed, but if they hold the tradition,
it always is.
Saturday evening, the 19th, which is the day before Easter, the 20th, there will be the Apple Festival Queens Contest. It will be Saturday evening starting at 7 p.m. in the middle school auditorium, which is the traditional location. We're not only telling you the date, but we're going to tell you that if you're a young lady and you would like to be a contestant, you only have this week to sign up. They announced it last week, and we've got it out in the paper already, but we wanted to say it on Main Street TV as well. You have to have your entry in by this Saturday at the Jaffe Building, the Apple Festival Building out there on McCarty Lane. You have to turn it in this afternoon between the hours of 1 and 2 p.m. And they say this every year, no exceptions. You can't be late. You can't do it tomorrow. You can't say you forgot. You can't say you were sick.
Sure.
You can have a surrogate bring it in for you. But you got to have it in between 1 and 2 p.m. This Saturday at the Jaffe Building out there on McCarty Lane. As far as the entry forms, you can get those at all 3 high schools in the county, Jackson, Wellston, and Oak Hill High Schools. Also at Andrea's Prom and Bridal Shop in downtown Jackson.
Yep, not hard to find.
Right, exactly. So the Apple Festival Queens Contest coming up on the 19th, and if you're going to enter, you better get with it. You got to get your entry form in no later than Saturday, February the 22nd. All right, we want to mention this because time is running out to see the latest exhibit at the Marquet Cultural Arts Center. Byron Kahn's watercolors. Display is there, the late Byron Kahn. Byron Kahn was a very talented watercolor artist. He lived in the Columbus area. He married Millie Kahn, who was a MacArthur native. They ended up moving back to MacArthur after they lived in Columbus for a while, and she became active. The Kahns became active supporters of the Southern Hills Arts Council. But when he was in Columbus, Byron was considered one of the top watercolor artists and experts. He was a judge and an instructor in the Columbus area, so that's his stature. But anyway, he passed away. In about 10 years ago, and then his wife Millie just passed away about a year ago. Well, she bequeathed his collection of watercolors, or many of the watercolors, to the Marquet.
Oh, wow.
And they are now on display there during the months of January and February.
Wow.
But you can see them there at the Marquet, and they will be on exhibit through the month of February. And remember, when you go into the gallery, of course, they have different events there. You can see them there. But it is open from 12 to 5 p.m. Tuesday through Saturday from 12 to 5, and it is perfectly 100% free to go in there and see those.
And watercolor is impossible, so how anybody does that.
That's the Byron Kahn exhibit. Okay, also, this announcement just came out this week. The farmers markets in both Jackson County and Vinton County are very popular. The folks that run the Vinton County exhibit, the farmers market that starts a little bit later in the year, they wanted people to know what the location was going to be this year.
Okay.
It's going to be in the Vinton County National Bank parking lot between the MacArthur Post Office and the Booth Insurance Office. And the first tentative day for the farmers market is going to be Saturday, May the 3rd. They do it on Saturdays through the season when the farmers market is going. And there may be some variation on when they close because of crops and all. But it's going to start Saturday, May the 3rd at 9 a.m., and that will be the location in the parking lot of the Vinton County National Bank, the old location
I'll
of the
bet
Vinton
that's
County
during
National Bank.
the Wild Turkey Festival as well.
It
It's
is.
typically the first Saturday in May.
That
isn't it?
is. So there'll be a lot going on that day. Maybe the farmers market people thought that would be a good time to start
Good
it.
kickoff.
A lot of people downtown.
Yeah.
So we'll be reporting more on a lot of other things here as the week goes on. No tournament games tonight, but we'll keep you apprised of when they are as well. And congratulations once again to Cobra Sharp.
Absolutely. That is a huge milestone.
Right, and we want to thank
someone's
Lieutenant
life.
Cassidy for coming in as well with the Highway Patrol.
You got it. Absolutely. All right. Well, thank you, Pete, for
You're
hanging
welcome.
out with us. And we appreciate you all for tuning in. Have a wonderful morning and stay warm. It's a little chilly out there. And we will see you right back here tomorrow. Thanks for watching.
All right, thank you.